Elon Musk. Although it fluctuates, the well-known entrepreneur Elon Musk currently was the richest person in the world. Musk needs no introductions. His stable of business including Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter keep the Musk name in the forefront of human consciousness. Musk has developed so many ideas into business concepts that I'm going to focus on one, XCOM, or now known as PayPal. An entrepreneur, as defined in the Webster's Newcastle College Dictionary 2013, is a person who organizes and manages a business undertaking, assuming the risk for the sake of profit. Musk conceived the idea of XCOM whilst working in the financial sector. He organized the human resources to work on the practicalities, invest funds into the venture, bore financial risks, and he made profit from XCOM, which was netted over $160 million. As such, he meets the required definition points as stated above, hence why I term him an entrepreneur. Essentially, XCOM was an internet bank back in the days when banks were only brick and mortar buildings, and to exchange funds, a person had to walk into a bank branch to make an exchange. Stated that in the months before Musk sold off his first startup, Zip2, he had already started thinking of ways to revolutionize the existing banking sector. Musk believed he could develop a more time-efficient system, particularly in the areas of transferring money between people. Musk's greatest frustration was the sector's inflexibility and apparent copy and paste approach to finance in general. Musk's plans were to create a full-service online bank, and this is what became of XCOM. Musk takes an idealistic approach to his inventions. If he can see the solution to a human problem, he wants to act, ultimately making life better, not for the purpose of profit. Schilling states this is one of his hallmarks of a true entrepreneur, not just a one-hit wonder. It's the right time, right place. Musk's plans for XCOM was never exclude anyone from the service. It just didn't turn out that way. Essentially, through board mutinies, disgruntled employees, and personal differences, Musk was evicted from the helm of XCOM. It merged with another similar but different business. This became PayPal and then got sold off to eBay for $1.5 billion. This money then became the launchpad for Musk's next invention, Tesla. Throughout this business turbulence, Musk persisted in lobbying the XCOM board, expressing his ideas. He wanted the internet bank to be available on smartphones. He wanted equitable access. Ultimately, the excluded audience were those who did not have access to the internet or a mobile phone, or did not have a bank account or credit card. Those audiences who benefited most from XCOM/PayPal were those of tech-savvy generations who were literate on smartphones, free to get into the app scene, and with having to walk into a brick and mortar building to simply move their money about. Vance, Malik, Levin, and Atkin and Mendez can all highlight a multitude of risks and challenges that Musk faced on a daily basis across all of his businesses. In essence, Musk's risks and challenges generally fall into one of these few areas: management style, financial challenges, cohesive business model, compliance. These risks and challenges were apparent with XCOM, as they were with most of his other startups. Management style refers to the Musk's interpersonal skill and difficulties with negotiating at people level. Many employees found his direct managing challenging. Even when he invested some $12 million of his profits from the Zip2 sale and first accumulated his team for the creation of XCOM, it wasn't that long down the XCOM path that employees left. His solution was to attract different people to create XCOM, which is what he did. Financial challenges. Innovation is expensive, and to see XCOM come to fruition, Musk had to attract more funds. If there is one part of his personality that most can agree upon, it is, as Malik says, Musk has enveloped himself in a mystique and many people find it inspirational. In this regard, it seems to date he is able to find the funds needed to push on with his various inventions, such as what happened with XCOM. He convinced investors to give him money to continue with XCOM's development. Cohesive business model. In the beginnings, XCOM was failing financially because it lacked a mechanism to offset losses and turn profits from the money it managed. This is essentially how banks make money, charging interest off loans. Musk's solution was to offer customers incentives to be a part of his new internet bank. It doesn't sound like anything special in 2023, but back in the 1990s, this was an innovative. This in turn grew his customers' base, and he developed a fee structure for categories of financial exchanges. Compliance was a massive issue for XCOM, both in operation and competition. The finance sector is limited with legislation, rules, regulation, and requires a multitude of operating licenses. Musk pushed dodgily through all these requirements with his second team and eventually secured the right compliance. During the creation of XCOM, Musk engaged with all the listed discovery skills. His XCOM innovation was born in the time, and through the rejection he experienced, whilst employees at a large bank. His assigned bank-related tasks was to question and observe the current debt banks held with developing countries. This led to his experimentation with possible mechanisms for the bank to gain funds from these exchanges. Musk formulated a plan, networked with other financial institutions, employees investigating the same issue, and then pitched his plans to the bank board, which they rejected, which in turn led him to the concept of XCOM. The main thing that inspires me with regards to Musk and his creation of XCOM is that he successfully sought out an entirely new way to conduct online payments and banking. Even though he faced financial risk and challenges, he prevailed through, never giving up on his innovation, which in turn financed his next concept, propelling him to stardom. PayPal continues today to be a popular and well-used financial tool. Musk no longer owns it, but he does own the domain name. The sale of PayPal launched Musk into his next startup, so possibly without PayPal, the world would not have things such as Tesla and SpaceX. Much can be said about Musk's current ethics, but with regards to XCOM, the greatest ethical concern laid with the fraud that was occurring within XCOM within the early days, with Musk knowing. He could have insisted much sooner that this be prevented, essentially through slowing down his customer base growth, but instead continued to attract new customers. Musk is anything but conventional. For all his human faults, he reinforces the idea it is possible for anyone with the initial financial means to create something amazing to benefit humanity. Like others before him in this space, he has shown this path to fame, and wealth does not have to follow the traditional path. In all likelihood, Musk will entirely ignore what human society demands.